So how would you best convince upper management to understand the importance of becoming product-led and dedicate more focus and resources to achieving that vision of building a SaaS product?
It's one thing you have to understand is like upper management doesn't care about product. They care about reaching their business goals. So how do you explain to them how product helps them reach their business goals and how product-led helps them reach their business goals, right? Like that's the whole point. A lot of times the language that we use to communicate as product managers needs to be altered to communicate with people who don't quite understand what we're talking about. And we don't do that. We don't adjust it. Like we just like, oh, you got to do product management. You got to do all this stuff. And they're like, I don't got to do anything. I'm a leader. Like I do what I want. It's my company. But so like how I end up going in when I consult, a lot of it's like, not like a lot of times in the past, I get brought in by a product team that has the same problem you're talking about. They're like, go convince my management that we need to be product led and fix it. And it's hard, but I never start the organization, like my conversations with, hey, you need to be product led. I start with, what are your company goals? Where do you see the gaps right now? What's the problem? Oh, your teams aren't releasing fast enough. Okay, well, here's why that could be. It could be a DevOps problem. It could be a technology problem. It could be a product problem because we're not actually prioritizing things correctly. It could be a strategy problem because there's no consistent strategy and we change course all the time, which is actually more often than not, that's usually what the issue is. I said, so here's all the reasons why that could happen. I'll go find out what's going on. Oh, your strategy isn't being dictated from, a cohesive strategy. Nobody knows what you're working on. Let's go back and start there. It's like, you don't need to just like selling them on a concept doesn't usually help. Like going in and just being like, you need to be product led has never really worked for me. It's more like, what do they see as the problems and how can good product practices solve those problems? If you start there and you chip away at it, that's really what moves you into being product led. Any conversation I've seen where you go in and you just start trying to convince them on like the new trend or where you want to go, like it's failed for me. I learned not to do that pretty quickly when I was consulting. It's failed for everybody else. And I say that too, like I said, like I train like a lot of people who want to be chief product officers or are chief product officers for the first time. They go, nobody believes in this in the rest of my organization. And I say, what are you doing to make them believe, right? Because now if you are, especially if you're the VP of product or chief product officer and you are the top person now, you have to demonstrate what good looks like. Nobody's going to wait. You can't wait for buy-in. You can't just be like, oh yeah, we're going to shift to this. Just be like, what are all the goals and how do I show you that I can help you achieve your goals and the company achieve its goals by doing this well? That's what gets results. And the people I see who do that in organizations excel. Everybody wants to work with them. They go on to work in amazing places. The people who wait for somebody to give them permission to do these things well, they don't get very far because they're just not able to actually conduct it. Now, this is different than if you're a team level product manager. Sometimes you need the strategy to be able to do your job. So what I say to that is ask the questions, right? Don't sit around waiting for somebody to give you stuff to do. Like a lot of people complain, oh, my boss give me like all the features to build. They just give me a list. Every time they give you a list, go back and be like, oh, thanks so much. I just need to understand why we're building these things just so that I can make sure that I'm building it in the right way, that we're designing it in the right way, that we're reaching the right goals so I can actually monitor it. So can you give me some context onto like, how did we make these decisions and where's some of the data that I can get on the user research that was happening here? How is this going to align to our business goals? Just understand where it comes from. And once you have that understanding, you can start to piece the strategy together, but you can also start to poke holes in, okay, so like we believe that if we do X, Y, and Z, this is going to happen. If it doesn't happen, now we have a conversation. Right now we talk about what can we do next time differently so that we can ensure it happens this time. So that's a big piece of it. Like I'd say, just don't go in guns blazing because like I literally did that when I first started freelancing and consulting. It does not work. Being like, you're doing this all wrong and we got to go to product led. Like they don't care. Not their top thing, right? They're like, how do I achieve my financial responsibilities to my board, to my investors, to my stockholders, wherever you are? That's what they care about. If you can show them product helps you with that, they'll get on board.